things that you should remove if you want more precision clicking, especially if you edge pan with your mouse. It's better to remove it because you'll have more precise movements at fast distances. So if you're just moving your mouse like small amounts, it doesn't change that much. But if you're going far, then it will hurt your precision most likely.
Definitely good to know. Little hints and tips here with Purge gamers.
Yeah, if you're 2K, you're still gonna be 2K. So you can probably ignore my advice or something. But if you're like really trying to get an edge and raise your MMR by 100, like sure, that would be that's a good option.
Let's add a snark counter onto this cast here. My goodness. Leaky though, he is getting just walked down here by Tomato, and of course Aged Apparition. He's taking a decent amount of damage, and Tomato doesn't seem too upset to be able to, you know, just follow him here and give a couple clicks because he's headed towards the creep wave anyways. Why not?
It's a tough one though because he's not gonna be able to contest the creep wave now. Yaren does have a salve. He's going to be using that now, at least. Hopefully. Oh, he does go in range. This observer ward they placed earlier is what gets them this. They smoked 5 man to get here earlier on, and now because of that, Lukey loses his salve. Lukey probably doesn't care that much. Yaren's sad. Big sad from the support. Spent that money, doesn't get used. Gave him a little bit of health, but not as much as he'd like. We'll see if they get the D ward later on, because they're going to know that something's up.
I mean, this is why Lukey can't have nice things, right?
Yeah, not anymore.
Not anymore. So yeah, a little bit low on that regen here on this top lane. Should be fine. This middle lane, though, Rayla at least is having a lot of difficulty. My goodness. And it's to be expected, though, right? It's a Viper versus Death Prophet early on.
Yeah, the tough thing for Death Prophet is that normally you just out-trade everybody because you Spirit Siphon, and almost nobody can out-damage that because you're getting so much heal. You're getting equal damage to heal. But because Viper can keep you a little bit farther away, you can just end up doing more damage. So Spirit Siphon gets used, and Viper's going to trade pretty heavily. In fact, they're trading right now in the mid lane. 5 stack now, that gets reapplied, and now Death Prophet just ended up losing a huge amount of health. And that was just a level in Spirit Siphon, so it's just not as much damage. So really good trades from Brawl.
It's just going to click down. They need maybe one more hit. There it is. There's the first blood.
Costly.
Going over to Tomato. Lukey also forced back, and this is really difficult for him just because his courier did get sniped earlier. Perhaps, you know, once Yaren makes his way back to the lane, he can bring some regen, but...
And he spent a salve trying to stay alive and not give him the first blood, which is definitely worthy in that case. You do not want to give the enemy carry an FB like that. But had to buy another salve now. So that's 3 salves that Yaren's purchased.
Interested in watching this bottom lane because, again, you know, we said that we saw, you know, No-Tail play this before, but it's not something we commonly see with this position 5 DK. So I'm interested if this is actually panning out the way that they intended it to, if it's getting the results that he wanted, or...
It seems fine so far. He still has 3 tangos in the bank. Wraith King has 12 last hits. They've got like a 7 last hit advantage on Saberlight. And the other thing is that Sand King's just not a very good fighting hero early on. Kind of low armor, pretty crappy stats as a whole. It's a double stun there. And then he just tanks the damage and pops a tango to heal back up. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a second point of Dragon Blood at 3, just to like really solidify his armor and his regen, but for now, pretty easy for him to tank these nukes and to give Wraith King the space that he needs to get lots of last hits.
It's got to be very frustrating, right? Because I feel like this lane, especially with the double stun, has the potential to be particularly good if you're in kind of a awkward positioning within the lane. But because they're both so tanky, and because you do have, you know, the lifesteal that comes off of the Wraith King eventually, it does make it very difficult. Saberlight, though, he's doing a great job. I mean, he is breaking, not necessarily breaking the ankles, but pushing the buttons real good to get out of these predicaments. Yeah,
you got to be very careful when you play Sand King. Maybe this is a me problem, but I feed a lot on this hero in lane. I'm just overconfident, so you have to really play this edge thing where you don't end up dying. You maybe get a kill, but the most important thing is not feeding until you have enough Sandstorm levels to just cut creep waves. And once you get there, then it doesn't really matter as much that your laning might feel a little bit mediocre. But he's got good solutions too. He can Sandstorm dodge stuns, for example, especially the Wraith King one. But yeah, he's just going to need levels, primarily.
This feels bad. Poor Rayla Lisa, like, he's cutting between these 2 towers. There's nothing much that they can really do to Bryle. He's a Viper, he's owning. Oh, man. Ooh.
Yeah, but Bryle's playing so good. Basically just zones him from health and then stands on the cliff. Now he's level 5. 5 and a quarter. Death Prophet's barely over 4.
Bottom lane, again, trying to make moves onto Bloody 9, but it's not looking good for Saberlight. This should be a kill. And they find a kill on Yaren in the top, or rather, Yaren trying to kill on Tomato. My goodness.
Oh, okay.
How did that happen?
Interesting. Probably the power of Inkswell on Tango. So you can get right on top of somebody, and then they can't stop him from chasing, because that's an AA plus TB dual lane, right? So as long as he swashbuckles on top of the guy, Inkswell is going to pop. That's going to give you Stroke of Fate follow-up damage and a lot of right-clicks from Pango. So definitely one of the weaknesses of A as a support is that he can harass decently well, but once the fight starts, he's not very good at protecting anybody other than just adding damage and hoping you kill them first. So that's going to hurt him, especially after you got the first blood. But the big last hit leader right now is certainly Wraith King.
Aaron top lane is just so slow, even throwing for the body block there with that illusion to ensure that they get the kill.
And similar problem for Grimstroke as well, kind of hard for you to protect yourself. But other than Wraith King last hitting well, Viper is dominating. Bryle's absolutely owning this matchup. Death Prophet has 9 last hits versus Bryle's 31.
Oh.
You do not see these kind of matchup disadvantages very often, but this is really a trouncing by Bryle so far. He's doing so good in this game.
I mean, you have to say, you know, Bryle has been making a name for himself over the last couple of years, particularly with the rise. You know, he started, what was it, Animal Planet or whatnot? I think that was what, like kept track and Co. But he is, you know, one of the top mids currently in NA, and Ray Lilisa, you know, he's a familiar name, but not quite at the same caliber just yet. So.
But yeah,
couple that with Viper being a lane dominator and all that.
This is like a
Very
perfect, with him being very good at mid, that's definitely been clear, but this is like one of those, like, there's a tier 2 team moving up showcase thing where like you don't really see these matchup disadvantages unless it gets really extreme. Arrows coming in, it's actually not going to hit.
They go back around the other side here, so they do manage to land the Dragon Tail. Can they get the kill? It's looking pretty good. No! Bryle gets the kill. He's still alive, and he's just fighting here. Okay, they eventually take down Bryle, but Fly9 will die, and Moon Meander will get himself a double kill.
Not bad. Yeah, I like that he fought in the Nether Toxin. Less armor and regen on DK. The salve, or the Urn Charge came out to give him an extra hit, so that was nice. Moon Meander gets level as well. That'll put him up to level 5, so he's pretty happy with that too. So all around really good for TSM so far. Everybody's doing good. Saberlight a little bit behind in last hits, certainly compared to Wraith King, but he's catching up in levels now. He's level 5, so he's gonna be just fine most likely. That's the one hero that does need to do well though, since he's the initiator. So as long as he stabilizes, everything's gonna be okay for TSM.
I mean, this is one of those heroes, too, that does have the potential to, you know, kind of go off to the jungle, take some stacks, whatnot, and try to recover that way, so.
That's true. Yeah, but Wraith King can't really pressure him much. He's just going to have to walk away. So Saberlight with a little mana regen here should be just fine.
I suppose on the flip side of that, though, even though, you know, you're having Saberlight have this opportunity to kind of recover, you do have to be careful that then the Wraith King is still doing quite well on his own lane, and he isn't being challenged, right?
Yeah, but usually what happens is the Sand King hits creeps and the Wraith King hits creeps, and they don't really interact too much. It's kind of one of the reasons Sand King has been popular, because you do need to protect him a little bit early, especially in the beginning of the laning stage, but after that it's not that big of a deal to just leave him alone, which he's profiting from right now. Clears a nice large stack, picks up 2 neutral items for his team, so pretty good.
That's always nice.
And this allows Moon Meander now to play mid to help Bryle continue his gold advantage.
Aaron's here too. They get the silence, they've got the Inkswell on top of it, so they're just going to chase down the Viper. And they're actually sending in just another nice dodge with the arrow. They have the Spirit Siphon. They need a little bit more damage though to take down Bryle. And it's just another talk too much as the Aaron will fall. Still can't get their hands over onto this Viper. That is a large rotation here for the side of both teams, honestly, but clearly DogChamp struggling. And they have not managed to find the kill that they wanted during this time.
Yeah, and they're pretty far behind now. 2k gold disadvantage against TSM. Bloody Nine getting beat up a little bit. Lots armor points though, so he's probably fine, but it's a little scary against Viper. A lot of magic damage reduction. And A also provides that too, actually. They're going to combo really nicely if they get the chance to really focus the same person. BKBs are going to be really important for DogChamp as a result of that. Doesn't perfectly protect you from Ice Blast, but it certainly can help. Here's that initiation once again. Little nuke, some silence, some damage. The DK TP's in, but they definitely have damage issues right now. If Death Prophet pops ulti, this is maybe different. They could probably kill Bryle here, but she actually doesn't have it skilled. She ended up picking up a 3rd point of Spirit Siphon instead of the Exorcism, but feels like a big mistake now. Because if she has Exorcism, certainly Viper dies. She gets more movement speed, does a lot more damage, and they get the Viper kill. So maybe a mistake there by the Death Prophet.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my questions for you, was realizing that, you know, she opted not to get a point in that ultimate. Stonebank having to be a bit careful. He's pincered by quite a few heroes. In fact, that is going to be the reincarnation. And it's going to have to come back up again. They'll channel up with the epicenter, and they'll manage to clean up too. Luki following up, though, does have the Rolling Thunder. Will be able to bounce over into Sand King. But again, the damage issues, very apparent right now.
And the detection issues, right? The perfect time for a Moonlight Shadow there. Everybody gets out on TSM side. They get 2 kills as well. Everybody is happy. Great rotation from Viper. They also forced a rotation from Luki. He tried to help out, but he gets there late. Everybody's dead already, therefore no detection in the right places, so they just lose everything. Exorcism gets popped in the mid lane as well. I don't know what that was for.
I don't know either, because she wasn't close to the tower.
Maybe Moon Meander pressured her, or there was kill potential or something. I'm not quite sure, but the tower took some damage, but not that much.
Again, the jump bottom lane. Luki, Bryle giving the clicks off. And that's another death in the bot lane.
They're just controlling the map really well. Viper, great skill build so far. Lots of tank, lots of corrosive skins. Lots of stat points to increase his survivability. Everything looks really healthy there, and they should be able to pressure the tower. We'll see if DogChamp tries to defend it, but without Exorcism, and they don't have Rolling Thunder for 15 seconds, I think it's just dead. So the pressure and the map control is just going to be amazing. And Saberlight also rotated to the top lane. Viper came bottom, so he's going to go help offset the enemy pushing on the other side of the map. So this is a great way to reduce this tower from dying.
Surprised that they teleported in, but okay, they have the Ink Swell to get the Viper Strike off over Luki, but still be able to get the kill. Rolling Thunder forward, plus the silence over onto the AA should ensure that they get themselves another kill as well.
That's great. Yep. So big kill on Viper helps catch them up a lot in gold and experience, which will go a little bit towards potential win. But they lost the tower, so it's going to be a lot easier to invade the jungle. And if TSM can basically keep that up while Terrorblade AFK farms, Tomato's going to be way ahead in net worth. And he's already ahead by about 700 against the Wraith King. And the Wraith King versus TB matchup, not going to be good as the game continues, because you typically go all physical damage and minus armor. He's opting to maybe go Mjolnir after Armlet, which is a bit different. It'll give him some options, certainly. It'll make him better against the TB, but I don't know how well it'll work out. We'll see.
Now, with the map movement going down to the bottom area for DogChamp, was that worth it, considering that they took a little longer to get down there? They ended up losing the tower, and instead they weren't able to do any pressuring really on like another tower in the map.
It was definitely worth it, I think, just because they got the double kill out of it. Killing Viper when he was doing so well was a huge advantage. So it was definitely still worth it that they did, even though they lost the tower.
Okay.
It just helped from things getting really out of hand. If they killed the tower on the TSM side and they moved to invade, then they would accomplish a lot more. So getting the kills takes them off the map for a bit, gets a lot more done.
Burrow Strike forward, plus the Ice Blast. Starstorm right into everything. They'll lose Ray Lalisa. Rolling Thunder coming through from Luki. Does have that Ink Swell. Will manage to land over onto several as he keeps bouncing around. Should be able to get the kill on Bloody Nine. And they'll lose Saberlight and Luki.
Really good Rolling Thunder, though. Did tons of damage, great Ink Swell, but unfortunately just not enough follow-up, and that's it's a Dragon Knight issue in some ways. DK popped his ulti at the bot rune. I don't know if it was still active there or not. It might have been low or gone, but probably was still up, actually. But there's only so much he contributes, right? He's got a stun, he's got 4 points in Dragon Blood. Dragon Blood is countered if Nether Toxin is on the ground, so I'm not sure if I agree with him going all in on those stats, but there it is. And then the easy Ice Blast combo against Death Prophet takes her out every single time. They don't have a save, so as long as you land one stun on him and Ice Blast follows it up, that guy's dead. So it was very, very easy for them to win this fight. No chance of Exorcism. The follow-ups afterwards were likely to go bad. And even though Luki is using his ulti really effectively, he needs his teammates to be alive while he does these great combos, and that's going to give him the opportunity to get like a 3-man teamfight wipe. But they're always they're counter-initiating right now, and that's going to be lower chance when you have this nice Mirana plus Sand King combo.
Smoke play coming out from the side of DogChamp as they are hunting to see if they can find some way to open up this middle tower. You can see Saberlight's just having a little bit of fun over here, but Bloody Nine does walk into everyone over on the side. Follow up with that Burrow Strike, with the MP, just chase down Yaren, and that's a double kill for Tomato as they make their way across the river, and they've got their own sights set on this tower.
That was just really nice how they did that. Everyone shows up. They wait for the right opportunity. They end up getting a double kill. Dragon Knight not necessarily in the right place. They've got defensive wards to help control their mid tower. and they get to use the tail end of meta to basically show full force. So 2 support pickoffs, they get the mid tower. They're just getting like max efficiency. And with the blink on Saberlight now, they are not slowing down until this game ends. They're just going to cross the map, play in the enemy side of the jungle, and continue going for burrow arrow combos and land Ice Blast to make this feel easier.
You feel kind of bad for Ray Lalisa. He's had a couple exorcisms now and hasn't been able to get much out of it. But we do have the Blink Dagger picked up for Wraith King now, so that will give them a little bit more follow, counter initiation, whatever you want to call it. Again, it's still difficult because that exorcism is a big chunk of their damage.
It is, but here's the value that it brings them. This allows them to start things off with an X-Fall every fight. And even though Wraith King might scale worse against the TB later, in this moment right now, Blink is excellent. It means that you don't have to wait on Lukey to go in. He can like play his ultimate more safe. And realistically, the Blink's going to do so much more than a Maelstrom right now anyways. He doesn't need the slight splash.
Nice double burrow into Ice Blast coming in hot. They'll be able to take down Bloody Nine almost instantly. They do get that link up over onto the side. Stonebank comes right back up again. Sunderplay going to come out from Tomato, make sure he can keep Saberlight alive. As now Ray Lalisa has a couple Spirit Siphons off, but just can't seem to hold them into place here on the side of TSM.
Wow, the selfless carry. Ulties his allies. What a true bro, man. Very cool. Keeps everybody on TSM alive. It was a great Ice Blast.
Look at that.
Got the support kill, broke the Wraith King ulti, but now that's on cooldown, which means Wraith King is not going to be a strong hero. And look exactly, TSM's basically saying, let's get its free kill. They do scan, don't find the Wraith King, he's at Ancient, so maybe slightly misplaced there, but they might spot him now with this ward. Oh no, he's slightly out of range. All right, they'll see him right now. We'll see if they pivot. Now they're going to commit to Death Prophet. She's a good kill too.
She is indeed, and that exorcism is about to come off cooldown, so it's a little bit of time she's going to be spent in the well, not being able to put that pressure down on the map.
I feel really bad for Death Prophet this game. It does not look fun. Your lane was really hard, and now you're dealing with this like triple disable type stuff.
Are they going to see him? They're coming up over here.
I think their ward, oh, it doesn't see right
No, it doesn't see them, but they started making the movement towards the triangle, so I wasn't sure. They do see Lukey here, though, because he went for that double damage rune. So open up with the Star Storm, Burrow Strike to follow, Ice Blast, easy peasy, down goes Lukey.
I like how they did that. Moon nukes the creep wave with Star Storm. This means that his arrow follow-up when the Burrow Strike comes is going to be easy. He already used jump, so they did the calculations. They knew how to catch him. So they're just doing a great job punishing the map here, and they're just keep moving around as 3. These 3 heroes can kill anybody, especially with Ice Blast. So it just means DogChamp does not have a lot of space to do anything on the map.
Definitely feels very, very difficult for them to move. They can't really shove their lanes too far. The bottom lane, the tower, was already taken fairly early on. So even their own jungle, like if you look at the warding, Bloody Nine desperately trying to get this mid tower, trying to get anything.
That's a sign of the game. He hits it twice and he runs away because he's like,
he pops the ult for it.
Very easily. Yeah, I mean, there's...
Oh dear.
Yep, and that's the penalty of dying earlier to that Ice Blast. Long cooling. Just hits level 12 now, but still on cooldown for a long time.
Radiant's top tower has
Couple
fallen.
pings coming out here. Moonlight Shadow does get used. Brile Hunting does manage to spot out Lukey here using that illusion from the Terror Blade, but they'll find someone else. They'll go and they'll find themselves a Grim Stroke. Ray Lalisa also being hunted constantly. There it is, the Viper Strike. Another Toxin placed down on the ground. They've got the Metamorphosis and just gonna... There's a BKB on Tomato already, for God's sakes. This man just gonna walk down everyone. Bloody Nine flapping those wings over on the side. You can see Luke trying to make some things happen, but Tomato's still following up here. There's gonna be the buyback. They're gonna try to make their way back over. So an Ice Blast gets dropped over on the side. The arrow does get tossed. Tomato just 3 now jumping on top of him. All right.
Okay, he deserved to die.
He deserved that one.
That was like crazy. These like, okay, you got your BKB at a good time. His first kill, great, but following a Dragon Knight all the way behind like tier 2s, that was a little insane. They are super far ahead, so they can definitely make some mistakes like that. Maybe they're having a good time. It's probably that territory more so than anything else right now, but not too many more of those, or you're going to give DogChamp a real
You're allowed
chance.
1, I think. You're allowed 1.
1 to 3. With this lead, they could probably make like 3 of those mistakes, but they're still sitting so good. Mirana's like incredibly farmed, 5-0 and 11. He's got Spirit Vessel.
Oh, that is a
brutal.
butthole puckered moment right there.
That's don't want to experience that again.
No, I feel again like poor Ray Lalisa has had a difficult game. We've had so many of these exorcisms that just haven't yielded much. And of course, you know, the last time that he had to pop the Exo was over. Oh, look at this perfect setup, arrow, Burrow Strike, everything. even using that Spirit Vessel charge. But, you know, having to pop the Exorcism on your side of the map, too, always feels especially bad.
It does, yeah. Especially if your opponents can disengage. And now that they have BKBs, you can't silence them, you can't get Spirit Siphon heal. There's a lot of issues there. Shards are out, and we actually see quite a few already. A's picked up his, Duba grabbed his right away. Very good shard on A, allows him to push creep waves. We saw one on Sand King, so he's going to have some epi stuff. The Dragonite, the 5-position DK, rather than get Blink Dagger, he said, screw it, I'm getting Fireball because I need to push creep waves and be able to contribute to fights. And they already have Blink on Wraith King, so it's kind of okay. But DogChamp definitely in a weird spot. Ooh, unfortunate there.
It's not the Rolling Thunder over. Oh no, Luki starts it, stops it.
That's smoke broken. Maybe not the best path to run that way, because if I mean it was just unlucky, right? Slightly. TSM was between trees, so smoke gets broken. His Nether Toxin he threw for the creep wave breaks Blink Daggers, so then they can't get him. They were just not expecting somebody to be there on TSM, so now they're going to counter smoke.
They're gonna walk into immediately. Look at that. Follow up with the Ice Blast. That's gonna be the Yaren, and now Luki has the Rolling Thunder, but he's probably just needs to get out of here. So they've got plenty of damage. Yeah.
Ooh. The DD Reich, like that's the worst feeling as a Pango, when they just kill you through it. But the Tomato's hitting for 500 damage here.
The hit squad continues as they found Bloody 9. And that's going to be a dead Dragon Knight. So into the Roche Pit, TSM will go. They know that this is very free for them. They have the double damage. They've got everything they need. They even
another
have the
gank
solar.
bottom. Watch this. Saberlight and Brawl instantly TP bottom. Now they're going to execute a gank.
Stonebake. He does have the reincarnation up, but I'm pretty sure they can kill him a second time if necessary. Back that Viper Strike. A little bit of the pulse coming off from Sand King. That's going to be the first death. We'll see a rotation coming out. But yeah, they just follow up. They even go for that. I mean, they get the leash off, but this is not looking good for Stonebake. Although he's going to be able to get a kill.
Okay.
Can they follow up? Mirana is here. The leap forward, the Starstorm. They'll get the kill on Stonebake. They'll get the kill on Yaren as well.
I really didn't expect him to be able to get something out of it, but hey, gets the Sand King kill. Not the worst.
Have to be careful here. Bryle sitting a little bit low. The arrow coming through. Beautifully done. Ice Blast will get dropped on Luki.
They're just doing such a good job playing around Brawl. But like, Viper can certainly have a lot of issues if he gets pressured too much. Tomato going for a kill, trying to body block. It's going to take a lot of right clicks.
Here, Bloody 9.
Tomato wants revenge from last time, dude, and he's doing it.
This is actually unreal, watching him just body block like this.
Oh my god, he's dead.
And it's still Moon Meander who gets the kill.
I'm sure there's a laughing Moon Meander on cam. There it is. I saw some teeth. He's having a good time. Oh, it's sick, dude. My 8th kill. Nice.
Yoink.
I deserve that. He does. That was a really good kill by Tomato, though. All right, DogChamp down by 11k now. Basically, if TSM wants to do something on the map, it is not difficult to do it. They're just getting everything done.
I just don't, I mean, they could try to do like a 5-man smoke, I guess, on the side of DogChamp. Like, they need to get some of this ground back within their control, right? We're seeing the replay over here.
That was unfortunate. Sand King blinks to leash back into Viper. They get the double stun, the Ink Swell explosion, a lot of damage. It's very good. He's like, all right, I got one.
I'll take it, yeah.
Whatever, could be worse.
We take those.
Somebody brings a gank right to you. That always doesn't feel the worst.
But yeah, how does DogChamp gain any sort of footing back into this? Because it feels very, very difficult. I mean, look at Tomato just running in here.
Missed initiation is certainly a good start.
True.
Yarn's able to escape, though. Split up your opponents, pick them off on the map would be a really good way. But everybody on TSM is playing pretty flexible right now. Moon Meander does not have BOTs, so you could take his indication of being top as an opportunity, but in the same vein, like, Wraith King is really not doing the most damage just yet. Bloody 9 trying to get some vision down. He looks dead.
He does indeed. Yeah. I will say, though, they do have the BKB picked up now for Death Prophet, so that does give them a little bit more leverage in some of these fights if they decide to try to go and find, you know, whether it's a split sort of situation. I think the problem is a lot of the times these guys are pretty grouped together whenever they make their way across the map.
They are at times, but that's the scary thing. It's like whoever shows gets burrow striked and it dies.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to approach. You're right that smoking is like one solution, because that way you don't see your heroes coming and maybe you can go first. But the problem is that their only initiator is Wraith King, right? Dragonite didn't buy a blink yet. He went for Shard. So now it means that every time that they try to start a fight, they either need Lukey to commit ult and to blink in, or they need Wraith King to be there. And that's a lot of resources, because Wraith King also wants to hit creeps. He can't be there for every gank.
Right.
So that's why it's so good to have this like Sand King Mirana plus other support. 2 of your cores are always hitting creeps, and this 3-man gank squad, it's not a big deal if they miss a kill.
Burrow strike forward, not even going to be able to get that Rolling Thunder off, and the tips are getting dropped here. TSM feeling a little sassy.
I mean, that's one of those moments where you like guess and find your opponent, so they felt good about it.
This would be a good moment. I don't know if they have voice lines. I know that everybody's given TSM some flack for their very corporate.
That's true. They could slap down 3 very cool TSM logos on the map right now.
A missed opportunity for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Tomato having to be a little bit careful. It's going to back off, respect it for now. Still has that meta up. It's going to heal up as Bryle, being the frontliner currently, spewing some of that that toxin down and whatnot. Eul Scepter picked up now for Sand King. I just don't see how they force them out right now. Yeah, look at this. The aggression coming in. Plus the Scotty. Bloody Knight just absolutely melts.
Literally nothing he can do there.
No, indeed.
This is the issue with the 5 Dragonite. If you have a rough game and you get your blink late, you just don't contribute nearly as much. There's just better heroes for that kind of position, like an Ogre. But hey, they chose to put themselves in that position to get some draft advantages, and it did not work out so good. But it's tough against a really good team.
Yeah, I mean, props to them for trying something a little bit different for sure, but it is very, very difficult. And BKB coming up from Lisa.
He had to press it. If he doesn't press that, he dies.
No, he definitely does. With that arrow running at him. Blink Dagger picked up now for Bryle.
Gives him a little space, but...
Just feels like some of the timing was a little bit off with DogChamp's draft here, but they'll go in. They'll make the initiation. They'll have it happen. Stonebank followed up, though. They'll get the Exorcism off over on the back line. They're just melting, as Yaren's going to be the first one to fall on the back lines. That break being applied, it's going to be the reincarnation. Couldn't they get enough damage off around to Saberlight, though? It's a question. They're very close. Yes, they'll be able to take down Sand King, but they'll take down Stonebank, and Lisa will also fall. Buybacks coming out now. You'll see the Grimstroke and the Death Prophet trying to get themselves back into position, but they don't have the ultimate now as they chase a bit far in. Bloody Nine will fall. Looks like they'll finally take down Moon Meander. He leaps a bit deep here, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to push him off of this last Rax pack. They go and they put out the fortification. Jump over onto Bryle, trying to do as much damage as possible. Doesn't have much mana left over here on this Viper, but they're just struggling to find the opening here. Yaren throwing out that Inkswell, trying to push out of the base, but Tomato's just chasing him down as Bryle eventually falls to Lukey, but Yaren will fall. And now Tomato, gets that TP and just says goodbye to everyone here.
He played that fight so good. Lukey was a little bit late to go in there. TSM kind of read at the same moment, but I loved what Tomato did. He runs away. He like bought extra seconds, right? Watch how he runs away and watch him juke a little bit. And it wasn't until he really needed to BKB that he did. He BKB like interrupts Wraith King initiation. So he basically wasted like seconds off Lukey's roll. He dodged it expertly, and then he forced Wraith King to get aggressive and just died. Ice Blast hits, Armlet isn't usable then, easy kill, and then he just shows you, like, if you're far enough ahead, you do not even need meta on this hero for it to be a terror, because anytime he slaps these range heroes, they're just slowed for the rest of the fight. Like, expertly played by Tomato. And yeah, Moon, big feeder, 12-1 and 17.
There goes his perfect game, right?
Yep, that's gone.
A little bit early on the arrow, but still going to be able to collect on Bloody Nine.
That's a good.
There we go.
I think there's a 99% chance that they win this game, if I did the math too. They're not stopping. Bot Rax is what's up next. All 5 heroes are in the area. They got the Boots of Bearing. They got an Aeon Disc on AA in case Dubu's the guy that gets initiated on.
He ever gets close enough to anyone there. His positioning has been very, very good, but do you have the BKB available now for the Wraith King? It's still very difficult because the amount of physical damage getting dished out.
He's dying to 1 illusion.
Yeah, that feels bad. Saberlight diving a bit deep here, following up with the Ice Blast. You have the shard over on Lukey. Lukey's just going to try to roll away. He cannot get out there fast enough. BKB over on Lisa Stonebank. He's taking too much damage. He doesn't have that. He's just dead. Or at least trying to run away, and it's not looking good. Death Prophet will fall. They'll go chasing down after Bloody Nine. They just call GG. DogChamp realizing that this game just slipped through their fingers too early on, and they can't recover.
TSM just played absolutely expert.